Time now for BBC Radio Reeves and Mortimer.
Hello! My name is Councillor Terry Cox.
And my name is Councillor Roy Evans.
And we're directors of the Tile Kingdom on the Ring Road just outside Hull.
That's right. Let's do our jingle first, Roy.
OK, then.
Let's make Sunday a fun day.
That's right, and if you like bread, then why not try Broomfield's bread?
That's right, it won't soak up the liquid from your scrambled eggs.
That's right. Now, Mr. Reeves and Mortimer couldn't make it today as the sermon in the church was a bit too exciting, so we're taking over. And we've got a lot on, haven't we?
That's right. Now, it was an exciting sermon. We're just coming down from it.
That's right. Now, remember as well, that Sunday is a holy day, and if you've got nought to do, then why not try reading the Holy Bible? It's a right good read.
Yes. Now, before we go any further, let's ask Councillor Cox. What's in your cupboard, Councillor?
Well, at home?
Yes.
Bags of blood.
Nice one, Councillor.
You know that's what's in my cupboard.
Yes, because you do work for the...
I work for the blood transfusion service.
Councillor Cox, helping in the local community. Now, have you got the records, Councillor?
I thought you had him.
I gave them to you in the church.
I didn't bring him. Have you left him in church?
You've left him in the church.
Oh, well, I'll have to go and get him on the bus then, won't I?
You get off then.
It'll take us about half an hour to get there and back.
It doesn't matter. I'll tell him the story about my toffee.
Well, when you got that toffee stuck in the back of your...
So you go and look for them. I'll start the story.
I'll be as quick as I can, but I can't promise anything.
Right, well, it was a hot day, and so I bought some...
I've just found him outside door.
Oh, bingo.
Right, well,
Bingo.
Anyway, we're in luck now then, aren't we?
So what's the first one?
We'll start off with a record by Rod Stewart and Maggie May. Yeah, there we are. Rod Stewart and Maggie May.
And I wonder, Councillor Cox, how does Rod Stewart satisfy his tiling needs?
Well, an interesting question. It should look no further than Tile Kingdom on the Ring Road just outside Hull, where there's a vast selection of tiles, both red and blue.
Well, let's just imagine a visit to Tile Kingdom.
Aye.
I'll pretend to be a customer.
Right, I'll just put the music on. Hang on. Hello, sir. Welcome to Tile Kingdom. How can I help you?
Yes, I need some new tiles for my kitchen work surface.
Certainly, sir. Will you be requiring red tiles or blue tiles?
Well, what do you think?
Well, I think you should combine red and blue for a fancy finish.
All right. Well, that's my tile requirement satisfied. I'll just pay up then.
No, sir. You won't just pay up. You must come through now to the adhesive section. Now then, what tiles have you chosen?
Red and blue for a fancy finish.
Ah, two colours. Then you'll need our universal adhesive. There you are, sir.
Well, I must say, I've never been so efficiently served nor more satisfied in my life.
That, sir, is because you chose to shop at Tile Kingdom on the Ring Road. It'll suit settle.
Well, I've just heard Vic and Bob pull up on the horses back from the church.
That's right. They just come back from the church on their cart. So, we'll play another record. Councillor Evans, what is it?
It's Let Love Speak Up Itself by the Beautiful South.
Here we go. Hello, you're speaking, or rather listening to Vic Reeves and Bob Mortimer live on Radio 1.
And thank you to Councillors Evans and Cook, who filled in very nicely for us there. And Councillor Cox was wearing a nice teddy, wasn't he?
Wasn't he looking lovely? Well, we do apologise for being a bit late, but we've just gone back from the church and, we're still on a bit of a high.
That's right.
It was a very, very good sermon, and I particularly went into a bit of a frenzy about halfway through, didn't I?
You did, didn't you? So it's going to take a bit of coming down from that, certainly.
Bob,
Yeah?
my seat's a bit low. Could I borrow your Bible?
Yeah, here you go.
Thanks. Oh!
Anyway, we're joined today by some very interesting guests. We've got Dorian Crook, who's a human joke machine, and I said machine. We've got John the Vicar, who's a pop poet.
John McVicar?
No, John the Vicar. And we've also got James Brown, who's launching very soon a new magazine called Loaded. We'll be speaking of those two a bit later.
We'll be taking a listen to some... Anyway, before we go any further, let's have some hit pop news. Brian Ferry has a new pair of shoes this week, and early reports say they're a little bit tight.
But it's very soft leather, so hopefully they'll wear in all right.
How would you wear a pair of shoes in, Bob?
I'd simply wear them.
Really?
Till they were worn in.
Just wear them till they get worn. Well, you know, or you could, I personally rub a little bit of margarine onto the insides. Just
Chris Rea has had a mattress, a very unsightly mattress, removed from his front lawn at last.
Yeah, at long last, there have been a lot of complaints there.
So 3 cheers to Chris, and of course the local authority who arranged for that removal.
Well done. And Tina Turner is beginning to regret having double glazing windows.
That's right. She says the windows were all right, but she wishes she hadn't done the HP deal.
Yep, maybe it would have been best for her to pay up front. What do you think, Bob?
I don't know, but there's the advantage of withholding payment if you've got HP, I suppose.
Well, that is a point. Well, Tina, if you want to phone in, we've got leaflets and relevant forms, and I think the answer is to get out and do a little bit of work, Tina, and just pay out right up front.
That's right. We can also reveal that Ice-T's surname is, in fact, Tightrope.
Is that it?
No.
Is it anyone else?
Well, do you know any?
Jazzy B.
Well, what about Malcolm X? Do you know his?
Malcolm Xylophone.
Xylophone, that's right.
Jazzy B was Jazzy Blue Cardigan.
Jazzy Blue Cardigan. So there's a little bit of news for you. But now we'd like you to listen to the new offering from the Wonder Stuff, which is called
Hot Love Now. The Wonder Stuff and their orchestral version of Hot Love Now, a new single coming out very shortly. Bob, have you ever been hot?
Yes, I was hot when I was in Spain, I remember once.
Have you ever been to Spain?
Yeah, I went to Bilbao.
Oh, any good?
It was all right, but it was a bit too windy. There's always a lot of wind coming off the sea there, and I never know what to do to keep... What do you do to keep to fend off wind?
What, in the
Well,
country?
if you're out in the country walking or something.
Stand behind a cow, something like that.
Yeah. Well, that would work, wouldn't it?
Would it?
Anyway, we'd like to introduce you now to what we are calling a human joke machine.
Yeah.
His name is Dorian Crook, and just as by way of an introduction, we're going to ask Dorian if he can now give us 5 jokes in 30 seconds. Off you go, Dorian.
Certainly, lads. I had a terrible journey here tonight. I got a train up from South London. Can you believe that? And it frightened me to death, to be perfectly honest, because I'd never driven one before. Not as bad as yesterday, though. I took a South London minicab home, and all the way back, the driver's picking his teeth from a catalogue. Can you believe that? Yeah, still here we are in the West End. It's like Piccadilly Circus out there, isn't it?
3.
A beggar came up to me earlier on. He said, "Excuse me, mate. I haven't eaten for 4 days." I said, "You should force yourself, mate. You'll get ill."
4.
Still, at least beggars don't have to deal with Jehovah's Witnesses, do they? Anyway.
That was 5.
Was that a joke, that last one?
Yes, it was. Was that a joke, Dorian, the last
Slightly
one?
observational, I suppose. But
Nice one.
There's humour there.
And how
I
long did that
enjoyed
take?
them. That was 25 seconds. Well done, Dot.
Pleasure's all mine.
I was enjoying an orange during that.
A very fragrant orange, and I'd just like to tell you that Vic today is wearing a blue teddy.
Yeah. But I really can recommend oranges. They're absolutely fantastic fruit.
Anyway, the next record is, I believe...
I don't know, what is it?
Orange out your mouth.
Now, the next record is Pulp with Babies. And there we have it, Pulp with Babies. Before that, we heard Dorian Crook with some of his jokes. We'll be getting into a few of those a bit later on. And, Bob, if you don't mind me saying, this Bible of yours is it's a bit hard.
Becoming a bit of an irritant.
Yeah.
Well, give us it back. I could do with a good read, actually.
Well, anyway,
I'll read this while you introduce the next guest.
what are you doing? What are you eating?
I'm going to eat an orange and read the Bible.
Right, okay then. Well, now we've got John, who's the minister who provided us with the sermon this morning, which turned us all into a bit of a frenzy. It certainly had me going. And John, Minister John, you're a new actor, you're a poet.
I beg your pardon?
Well, your sermon, actually. Would you call it poetry?
No, it's a sermon. I'm going to perform it for you.
And you're going to be doing that for us now?
Yes, I am.
Have you been to... Well, you've been to church, obviously. Have you come down from the excitement yourself?
I'm still very, very excited,
Yeah.
and I'm glad you enjoyed it yourself.
And how do you feel about missing Sunday lunch?
It's a sacrifice, but it's worth it.
Well, okay then. Would you like to introduce this one yourself?
Yes, this is my most recent sermon, and it's called The Evil Bull.
Off you go, John.
Oh no! A volcano has erupted in my mansion!
Whoosh goes the lava all over me shirt, and it all slops down with leering vengeance. Hot and sticky and horrible and runny, and the thick black smoke spews up in the air. Through this dimness a spectre emerges. It's a great big bull with a horrible head, and his eyes bug out and his lips is curled, with 2 metal horns and high-heeled shoes. He emits the awful belch of wrath. He emerges from the ground and he begins to shriek. Well, he is big and brassy with golden legs. I must fight this devil before he steals my eggs. There is uproar in my mind and uproar in my lounge, and my 17 babies begin to howl. Then he beckons to me and he bids me hark. Oh, he's horrible, demonic, and he starts to spit. I am the Bull of Death. Have I got a prize for you, sir? I am the Bull of Death. Have I got a prize for you, sir? Well, I couldn't resist, so I clunked him with me shovel, and that spelled one thing, i.e. trouble. It didn't make him froth, and it never made him whistle. Why, he merely tittered and began to sing. He said, yin, 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 I am not thin. Yin, 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 I am not thin. Then I wrestled with him. I say. I stuck the boot in and he stuck his hoof in. My, how I struggled against his talons of destruction. And then the beast said, come with me to Paris. Why not come with me to Paris? Come with me to Paris. Come with me to Paris. Off then I trekked into the hellhole, looking like a nutter and feeling kind of dreamy. I got to Paris, I had a look about, I watched the telly, I ate some jelly, I listened to the rumble in my big fat belly. I donned my bonnet and I lit up my pipe. At last I was a bull, so I began to hum. I said, yin, 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 I am not thin. Yin, 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 I am not thin.
Thank you very much.
Wow, that just takes me back to this morning. That's quite
that was
incredible.
So exciting, especially the middle bit about Paris, which is the one that sent me AWOL.
Yes, it certainly did.
Yes, indeed. Anyway, hang on. What's this? Here we are. Here's the jingle. Hello, you're listening to Radio Reeves and Mortimer.
Let's make Sunday a fun day. We're joined now by Otis Redding and Marvin Gaye.
Yeah. Welcome. Hello, Otis, Marvin.
All right, Vic. Yes. Hello, Vic. How are you doing? Hello, Bob. All right, now, we come here to tell you about our disaster. We booked a coach. Disaster as well? Yes. We booked a coach to see the Linda Lusardi Roadshow. Aye. Well, anyway, we got on the coach. Hey, if you can call it the coach. It's more like a van with windows. That's like an elongated van or something. Anyway, Suppose a coach, really. Well, I suppose so. Anyway, it was very disappointing. There was no video, no refreshments, and the driver kept trying to cuddle Otis. Yes, he did. If you could call it a cuddle, it was more like a sort of... More of a grope, really. No, it was a very tight grip he had. Anyway, we arrived at the ferry terminal. If you can call it ferry terminal. That's right. It just seemed to be where the ship's docked. Yeah. And the brochure, if you could call it a brochure. It's more like a pamphlet, wasn't it? If you could call it a pamphlet, more like of a leaflet. Yeah, with the sort of like writing on one side. If you could call it right, it's more of a scroll. More of a scroll, really. Anyway, we'd been promised that we would cross the channel by a luxury ferry. If you can call it a channel, it's more like a sort of like a 20-mile stretch of seawater. Yes, that's a channel, Otis. Yeah. Oh. It should have said in the brochure, I agree, you know.
Anyway, the entertainment on the ferry was provided by the cabaret band Scarlet Fantastic, and they were fantastic.
They certainly were, but the show was ruined by a certain Mr. Julian Cope, who kept shouting out.
I am Julian Cope, who's shouting, I could sing better than you with me eyes shut. Well, perhaps you can, Mr. Cope, because you've been in the business a little bit longer, haven't you? But remember, there was a time when you couldn't sing with your eyes closed.
That's right. Well, we arrived in France, if you could call it France.
Right. Well, what would you call it then?
All right, France. But anyway, Mr. Cope led us all down the High Street shouting, "That's the best butchers. This way at the hypermarket. Don't forget your postcard."
Yeah. I thought he was a flaming tour guide, something, didn't he?
That's right, yeah. Anyway, we booked in
I'll tell you what. Well, shut your mouth. Why don't you shut your mouth?
That's so funny, Otis. You should join a funny show.
I should do.
We booked in
the funniest.
Yeah, we booked in our hotel, if you can call it a booking.
Yeah.
Mr. Cope just shouted out everyone's names.
Yeah, like an hello accent.
Yeah, and just threw sets of keys. He was drunk.
Very clearly drunk. Anyway, we were in room 72, and yes, you've guessed it, Mr. Cope was right next door, banging about and falling over with his medicine ball, shouting, "I am Julian Cope, and I am in room 73.
Yeah, as if anyone could care less. So we arrive at the Parc de Francais, which was the venue for Linda's Roadshow, only to discover that the tour operator had not provided tickets.
Yeah, so we had to watch, like, from a distance. If you could call it a distance, more like 20 yards.
Yeah, that's a distance, really, innit? Anyway, she bounced onto stage, if you can call it a stage.
Yeah, if you could call her Linda Lusardi, didn't look much like her, me.
Well, thank you very much
Cope,
indeed, Otis. That's a fascinating story of disaster.
Yes, thank you, Otis.
So let's move on now with an old tune, a great tune. It's by Bachman Turner Overdrive, and it's called This Is a Song.
Well, Vic and Bob have had to pop out to stock up with oranges. So it's Councillors Cox and Evans back here with you.
That's right.
Now, what you can't see is that Councillor Cox is actually half submerged in a barrel of turps.
That's right, and have been for the last 6 years.
Now, play tell us, Councillor Cox, why is that?
Well, 6 years ago, the doctor told me that I should stand submerged in a barrel of turps every day.
What was the actual problem you attended the doctor with?
Well, I don't know. Didn't ask him. He's a doctor. He knows. He just told me to stand in the turps.
Who is this doctor?
It's me doctor.
But where did you find him?
He was in a doctor's surgery round the back of Freeman, Hardy and Willis.
What, in the street, Councillor Cox?
Well, no, in a stock cupboard.
Oh, dear. It's that one who's married to
I don't ask a doctor. He's in charge. If he tells me to stand in turps, I will do.
Oh, yes. And you're probably right, too. Having said that...
Well, my wife changes the turps every day. She's very good. She drains it off, replaces it, and I must say that my legs resemble a pair of her tights at the moment.
They do, they're very thin.
Very floppy indeed.
They are floppy.
Very floppy.
Is this the doctor who ran off with that Indian woman with bad breath?
That's him.
Oh, dear me.
Hey, what are you fellas doing?
I'm sorry, we were just filling in.
Clear off, you've done your bit. We've got our bag of oranges
Yes,
now.
thank you very much indeed. At this point, we'd like to play another record, would we?
Yes, we'd like to play a record.
Well, listen to this song.
I don't know what it might be.
No, I know what it's going to listen to this song because it contains vital information about the inflammatory glands in your neck. It's by Cud and it's called Rich and Strange.
Sunday lunchtime with Reeves and Mortimer.
That's right, you're listening live to Reeves and Mortimer on this Sunday afternoon, and the time is nearly 20 to 2.
That's right. Now, we've got a new guest on for you now, and new to us anyway. He's called James Brown, and he's about to launch a new magazine called Loaded. James, hello.
Morning, fellas.
Hello, and tell us about Loaded then. What's it all about?
Oh, it's for the young hip cats on the rampage.
Yeah.
As, you know, like yourselves.
Yeah.
What sort of market is it aimed at then?
Yeah.
Young fellas.
Yeah.
With a thirst for life.
Yeah.
Like a bit of fancy behaviour.
Will it have football in it?
Bit of football, bit of sex, bit of...
When you say sex,
thought.
pictures of sex or just talk about sex?
Sexy football. Well, also that sort of thing.
Pictures of footballers having sex?
Nothing too vulgar, though.
No,
well, that's a crazy idea.
That's fine, yeah.
No, it is genuinely a new magazine coming out, and it looks great. I've seen the dummy issue, and it has pictures of sex, and also has pictures
but
of...
not too vulgar.
Oh, not too vulgar if you just take a glance.
Not so coarse.
But that's James, and we've actually invited James here as well to talk about Loaded, to ask us a few questions, in fact, to interview us. We've paid him for this, so carry on with an interview, James. Let's see how it's done.
Obviously, we'll be doing a lot of investigative journalism, so how's your weekend been going?
Mine's been going great up to now, James. I've had my mum and dad down, and we had a lovely time. Went for a curry last night.
Did you have a bit of a laugh with your mum and dad?
Yeah, it was great. You know, the curry made us laugh a lot.
You see, I asked you that question, and we've got an interview here. I don't like how it's going.
You butted in, though, didn't you?
I do apologise,
Is it not
James.
going very well, this
Carry on.
What about rampaging? Do you have a thirst for life, fellas?
I often rampage about you through sheep fields.
You do, don't
What about you, Bob?
Yes.
Where are you known to take the net off?
Well, I don't really. I'm a very much pub man, you know, lounge lizard type character.
You like to cause a bit of a rumpus, so don't you?
I have caused a rumpus in the past, yes.
How's your life, you know, is that it? Rumpus and
Rumpus isn't rampage.
Is that what the young uns like these
Well,
days?
we're very casual, calm men. We're too old for rampaging.
And we're very well mannered as well, James. If you don't mind me saying, you should take your feet off the table.
Things are coming a little too calm in the magazine world, though, aren't they?
No, I enjoyed the magazine very much.
I'd just like to point out that James Brown, the so-called interviewer, was sitting here with his feet up, on valuable equipment, wearing dark glasses, clearly hasn't combed his hair today.
No, not at all. But he
If you
does
don't
look like
mind me
Ryan
saying,
Giggs.
there's a bit of a musky smell in here as well.
There is. There's a smell of some very old stories here.
I think we should finish this interview now.
Yes, let's move on by once again going to Dorian Crook for a joke challenge. Now, this time we're asking for...
well, we'll go back for 30 seconds, but we want 7 jokes.
Seven jokes in 30
No
seconds.
problem. Talking of rampaging, you know, the other day I ran through a nice open field in my bare feet. You should have seen it when I did it in the whole bear costume, boys.
One.
Well, yes, I was married twice, you know. Not many people know that. Married twice, no children. Obviously, you can't marry children. It's not allowed, is it? But
Two.
My first wife didn't understand me, I'm afraid. She was Chinese, didn't speak a word of English, hardly surprising.
3.
But my second wife was strange. The day we got married, she was carrying another man's child. She could have put it down when I put the ring on her finger, wouldn't you have thought?
Can't give it.
Can't give it.
Carry on, you've got 12
All right,
seconds
then.
left.
Hey, no, he hasn't.
The
His
next
time's up.
lady,
His
I
time's up.
proposed
Time's
to her
up.
on the job. I wrote
machine.
to her 700 times. She married the postman.
Get out of it.
Oh,
Well, I don't
Honestly.
know.
Let's
can't help
listen to
myself.
a song.
Hey, hang on, though.
What?
Before we go into the song, Dorian, give us a weather update.
I tell jokes. The weather. Scattered cloud at 2,000 feet, becoming 600 feet on the hills. Temperature about 6, dew point rising to 3. Maybe a bit of coastal fog later. Pressure around about 1,012 millibars, I should think, just off the top of my head.
And is that in this country?
That's here.
Oh,
in the
right. Well,
studio.
that's what we
Right
wanted,
over
Dorian.
the London area. Thank you very much,
My pleasure.
Dorian Crook, with the weather.
Now, the next song is called There Was a Day. It's actually a tribute to George Best and his wonderful career, and it was written and performed by Andy Lambas and Roddy Matthews. A tribute to Georgie Best.
I get out of my head.
Andy Lucas, and there was a day, and I'm sure he's quite right. There was a day once. There was a day. I'm sure of it. I'm sure I've seen a day pass.
Yes, you're right, Vic.
I'm sure I've seen one. And anyway, quote of the day: "A child in need is a child indeed." What
That's
do you
a
make of
nice
that?
one.
That's a good sentiment, isn't it?
Anyone else over there got a quote?
Never drink poison.
Nice
Well,
one.
No, well, I think that's probably more informative rather than a quote, isn't it?
It's common info. I'm just a girl who can't say. No.
Should I wear the cans for this one, lads?
Should I what?
Should I wear the cans?
You should have asked
put
that
them on,
earlier.
Dorian.
This one's got some lager in it still, that's all.
No. Dorian Crook, the human
I'd
joke
like to
box,
say a big-
irritating everyone around the table at the moment.
My quote is, I'd like to put a big shout going out to the neighbourhood watch posse. Keep it locked, guys.
Nice one.
Oh, very good quote.
Well,
you know,
That'd be appropriate in Whitby, wouldn't it?
Whitby, where's Whitby?
Up north. We were debating earlier, weren't we? Where is Whitby? Is it in Cleveland or is it in Yorkshire?
Cleveland.
Well, I say Cleveland now. Previously Yorkshire.
previously Yorkshire, but Cleveland and the Independent's got something to say about that today.
Well, there's some lovely materials around the table. I'm wearing a felt garment.
Yes. I'm wearing
Leather?
a Johnny Cash outfit today.
I'm sporting corduroy.
I too have corduroy.
2 corduroys, 1 felt and 1 leather.
Earlier on today, I had suede on.
Really?
Stereo. I was just dancing around to them in my front room, you know.
Well, right
I
now
listen to the Doors. Just
we're going to
shutting.
be having corduroy on, and here is corduroy with Motorhead.
Motorhead and Cordial.
Well, we're back. You're back with Reeves and Mortimer live on Sunday.
Hello there. Hello there. Would you like to do it, madam? It's only a little. It won't take a minute of your time up.
What? You're getting crude now.
I do apologise.
Well, now we've had Dorian Crook, the joke smith. What's your favourite joke? Do the one about the alarm. That's
the alarm went off in my car today. Very annoying. They drove it up to their recording studio in North Wales, made one of those terrible jangly guitar records. Still, luckily, there's more. Go on. I can't
We
help
don't
myself.
want any more.
Oh, all right, then.
Dude, get the guy out of here. He's driving me crazy.
Hey, go and get a burger.
Well, we'll have a quick interview. I have a few words with you now, Doc.
Yes, please.
How do you get your ideas?
Well, they're all in Majesty stationery office. Her Majesty stationery office.
Yeah. All right.
Do you want to know?
Oh, yeah. Is comedy the
It's
new
an
rock and roll?
index file with tabulated
Vic,
and
Vic,
indexed.
Vic.
Code number 28615.
Allow him to answer. Sorry about that.
Sorry,
Dorian.
I wasn't listening.
You're a gag teller. Do you think alternative comedy is on the way out?
Oh, undoubtedly.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
People,
Oh, really?
people don't want someone
yeah.
coming up to them.
Yeah. Is
Well,
comedy the new rock and roll? Oh, yeah. What do you think of Jack D, then?
Yeah? Do you like him?
Yes, well, I think he should lighten up a bit.
Well, thank you very much, Dorian Crook. That was really very informative.
Wasn't that great? And the next tune we'd like you to agree with is...
Let's get down.
It's the Cult, ladies and gentlemen, with...
It's the Cult.
It's a Cult with the Wild-Hearted Son.
Wide-hearted son.
Hello and welcome back. Yes, you're back with Councillors Evans and Cox.
And you've been listening to... Who?
The Cult. Now, Vic and Bob have popped out for the final sack of oranges, so we're just covering for a few brief moments. And I'd like to ask Council...
I must say, there's a lot of pith in here.
There is a lot of pith, but a beautiful tangerine smell. Now, Councillor Cox...
There's pith everywhere.
Tell us a little bit more about your work for the Blood Transfusion Service.
Oh, what, the blood transfusion service?
Yes.
Well, I go around on my pushbike, transporting blood in my saddlebag to the scenes of various accidents. Some of it drips out and can cause a slippery wheel. But,
right. I expect it could cause brief amusement as well.
It does to passers-by, and I must say, more amusement because my legs are very flimsy, as you know.
They are,
and
about 30 denier, if you're familiar with that phrase.
Yeah,
now, if it's bread...
Can make peddling rather amusing.
Yes. Now, I saw Bill Oddie on the way in, sat on a great big blue egg.
Oh, did you?
Quite extraordinary.
What a thing to say. What a comical thing to say.
Thank you, Councillor Cox. Now, if it's a fruit pudding you want, try Lion's fruit puddings.
That's right. And, Councillor Evans, if you don't mind me saying, I think we're running out of things to say here, so we'll move on to another record. It's probably the final record of the day. Well, our day. It's the fall, and I'm going to Spain. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. You've been listening to me, Vic Reeves.
And myself, Bob Mortimer.
And we've been speaking to our Minister, John Houston Irvin.
Yes, and to the Human Joke Box, Dorian Crook.
And, of course, to James Brown and his new magazine... Loaded, which comes out very shortly.
Have you enjoyed yourself, Vic?
Yes, I've thoroughly enjoyed myself. Have you?
Yes, the oranges were so sweet.
Any holiday recommendations? I can certainly recommend Whitby for all your holiday recommendations.
Requirements?
Yes.
Even.
Yes, if you want to holiday in Whitby.
That's right. Thank you very much. And we're going to hand over now to The Rock Show with Claire Sturgis. So if you're ready to rock...
Rock! Vic and Bob, many thanks. My heroes.